Like millions of us, I went on my summer holiday with my mum a few weeks ago, but our flight was delayed. So delayed, actually, we always didn't make it home when we were supposed to. We've all been there, haven't we? We've all been there.
We've all been there, but it's a nightmare because you don't know really what you're allowed to claim back. Do you get repaid for your delay? We've got our consumer editor and all-round genius, Alice Beer. She's got everything you need to know. It's a proper issue, isn't this, Alice?
Yeah, it really is. So last summer, 1 in 3 UK flights were delayed for more than 15 minutes. That's 30 million of the 90 million passengers flying to or from a UK airport were held up in some way when they were journeying between June and September. And this summer, UK delays are anticipated to be the worst for 25 years. I mean, it is a huge problem. And
It's a lovely airport, though.
I know, I'm slightly worried that we're in the middle of the runway, so we may have to just...
My shoe's falling off, here we go.
Your delay was a catalogue of problems, wasn't it? Because it does matter what the problem was.
No, Angela, let me just say this, right? I fly with many airlines all the time, very lucky to travel. The crew, the pilot, everyone was incredible. It was just one of those things, there was a problem with the engine. And you want the pilot to notice that before you take off, let's be honest. So we were all absolutely fine with that. But it was just a series of incidents that then occurred from that. We've been waiting too long, we need more petrol. The stairs are stuck on the side of the plane, that family want to get off, their bags have got to be offloaded. So it just went on and on and on and on. And by the end of it, I think we all felt like we'd all been through the same thing together. It was like we survived.
Was it
the
like
flight.
8 hours by the end of it?
It was, I think, a 2.5-hour flight from the time we got on the plane took about 7 hours, 10 minutes.
Yeah, so your delay was actually 5 hours. And what counts is how late you are getting to your destination.
And is that, am I right in saying it's over 3 hours?
It depends how long your flight is.
Right.
In time and distance. And yours was largely a tarmac delay. Now, we've got to bear in mind that 63% of all flights have no delay whatsoever. And the average time for a tarmac delay is only 18 minutes.
Right.
Now, I've had a tarmac delay with 6-week-old twin babies in Nice Airport, no air conditioning. And, you know, with babies, you time the feed for when you're taking off. It all very much went Pete Tong. But for most of us, a tarmac delay is going to be OK, so long as, if you're like me and a nervous passenger, you've downloaded lots of stuff onto your phone or your iPad, you've got a snack and you've got some water, well, plug yourself in to call the midwife, and I'm fine for a 2-hour delay. And I won't get stressed. And as you said, you want the pilot and you want the crew to get on with what they're doing to help you all get off on time. They don't want to delay, do they?
Well, even the crew. I was talking to where we were sat, the crew were there, and she was like, you know, I'm supposed to be picking up my son from school, and stuff like that. You know, this isn't their fault.
No,
if there's a
of course
problem with
it's
the
not.
aircraft, there's a problem with the aircraft.
Absolutely. Now, the first thing to look at, if you have any kind of delay, is are you going to be eligible for any kind of compensation or reimbursement? And the two things often get confused. So reimbursement is when you've been delayed for a certain amount of time and you have to start buying water or a meal or, heaven forbid, getting a taxi to a hotel and staying the night and then a taxi back, to be reimbursed for those costs. Now, it's not for your bottle of Chateau Neuf or whatever.
Oh, I don't want
at
it
the
then.
Airport. And it's not for you shopping at the Gucci shop in
It's normally her with the Chateau Neuf bar with me and Gucci, I'm not going to lie.
It's both of us. We know that. It's not for any of that. It's being reimbursed for something that is reasonable. That you have kept a receipt for. So reasonable and receipts. Now, the first thing to think of is that every aircraft under civil aviation rules has to, every airline has to have the rules and regulations by which they're forced to apply
and that's at time of booking.
On their app or their website. So while you're sitting there being delayed, just have a little look. OK, well, after 2 hours, I'm entitled to this. And after 3 hours, I'm entitled to some water and a meal voucher. So that you know. You don't have to keep going up to them and saying, oh, what are my rights? What are my rights? Just stay there, be calm and be a compliant passenger, because then we can all get off safely. Now, the rules are, so you're delayed, you were flying home from Malaga. That's just under a 3-hour flight, isn't it? So the flights are categorised into short haul, medium haul, long haul. And short haul is less than 1,500 miles or about a 2-hour flight. Medium haul, which is what yours was, 1,500 to 350,000 mile flight, about a 2 to 4 hour flight, or long haul, generally more than 4 hours in the air. And the amount of compensation you get for each of those categories depends on how long your delay was. So if you're on a short-haul flight, say you're going to Paris, you get delayed for more than 2 hours, £220. I know it's not bad.
No,
not bad at
I'm
all.
actually quite a surprise.
Medium haul, so your flight, you were delayed for 3 hours. It's basically, if you're delayed for the length of time that your flight is going to take,
yes,
more or less,
right,
£350.
Yeah.
Right.
And long haul, a 4-hour delay, £520. Now, if you're flying on your own, you're in no rush to get there, and everyone's cramming to get on the plane, and they're asking for people to deboard or whatever, and there's a delay, then happy days, sit there, eat your snack, drink your water and take your money to spend when you get there. But I understand if you're travelling with young children, then obviously it's something that you really need to be...
Or Linda Clark.
Or Linda Clark, yeah.
Every time I get on a plane with her, something's wrong.
Oh, really?
I fly out of City Airport, London City Airport, pretty much all the time. I'm always in there. I don't know how they've not named a plane after me. And every time I fly with my mum, there's a problem on that plane. Jeez, if you see Linda at an airport, don't get on. Just don't get on.
Bless her heart. But if you know your rights, you can be much calmer. And if you're prepared, you can be much calmer. And I think in your instance, a family wanted to get off the plane once they'd been on the tarmac. And it is actually allowed.
Of course it is.
Once you've waited on the tarmac for, depends again where you're going, between 2 or 3 hours, you have a right. You have a right to information every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Airline has to do that.
And I have to say, pilot was incredible.
Yeah.
Updating us at every noise, every bit, every day.
Brilliant, that's good. You have a right to water, using the loo, etc., etc. And if you want to deplane, which is honestly when the nightmare begins.
Oh, tell me about it. I've seen everyone's cases basically across the runway. People trying to find 4 cases of this family that wanted to get off, which, like you said, well within their rights to deplane. But everyone on the plane knew to deboard them people. If we're on a remote stand, that's going to take another hour at least.
Exactly. And what's a nightmare for the airline is that actually that extra hour pushed you into the higher level of compensation.
It did.
So one thing that we actually have to know is that in extraordinary circumstances, you cannot claim compensation at all. So weather, air traffic control strikes, volcanoes, anything extraordinary that is not the airline's fault, you can't claim for, and that is fair enough. And it's sort of unfortunate, like if you've had a really long delay at security coming through to board your plane, that's not the airline's fault, and they're not going to pay you any compensation. So really just arm yourself with the information, arm yourself with what you need for a long delay, and just try and stay as calm as possible and just read up on your rights.
Is there any truth in sort of different airlines getting priority, or, you know, if you're on, I don't know, a short-haul flight, you're going to get pushed back by the...
I always think that a flagship airline, so the one that carries the flag of the company, the country that you're coming from or to, would get priority. Hard to prove, but actually, and I think that's up to air traffic control on the day. But yeah.
Fine, OK.
Hard to work out.
You really do know everything, don't you?
I was going to say, you shouldn't have done this because he'll be ringing you now every time he goes on a flight.
I'll be like, Alice, I'm in an airport, I don't like this. What do I do? My washing machine's not working, what do I do?
Someone accused me online of being a know-all. I'm paid to be a know-all.
And we need a know-all.
We do, you're an expert, we love it.
Alice,
thank you so much.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.